Imagine this. You land in a shiny, ultra-modern city, you unwrap a stick of chewing gum, and someone can literally fine you for it. Or you're walking on a gorgeous Mediterranean beach, the water is perfect, the sun is perfect, and you think, I'll just quietly pee in the sea. Nobody will know. Boom! That tiny secret decision could cost you hundreds of euros. No way, right? In one place, wearing high heels near ancient ruins is actually against the law. In another, if you try to pay with too many coins, the cashier can legally say, "Nope, that doesn't count as money anymore." And in one South American capital, just having a salt shaker sitting on your restaurant table is illegal. Seriously. Today, we're traveling around the planet to uncover 10 real laws that sound completely insane. Not rumors, not jokes, not, "my friend told me this once." These are actual rules that can get you fined or in real trouble for stuff you probably do without thinking. If you love strange laws, weird customs, and hidden facts from around the world, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next deep dive into how weird our planet really is. All right, grab your passport and maybe hide your chewing gum, because we're starting with one of the most famous, no way that's real laws on Earth. Let's go. First stop, Singapore. You may have heard the legend, chewing gum is illegal in Singapore. It sounds like one of those stories people exaggerate for fun. But the truth behind it is seriously wild. Back in the late 1980s and early 1990s, Singapore built a brand new, super clean, super efficient subway system. And some people thought it was hilarious to stick used chewing gum on the train doors and sensors. The result? Doors got jammed open, trains were delayed, and the cleanup cost a fortune. On top of that, the government was obsessed with keeping the city spotless. Gum wasn't just an annoying habit, it was everywhere. On sidewalks, elevator buttons, under seats, on handrails. So in 1992, Singapore basically said, "Enough, we're done with this." The country banned the sale and import of regular chewing gum. Shops couldn't sell it. You couldn't bring in big amounts from abroad. Customs officers literally looked for gum. But here's the crazy twist. It's not actually illegal to just chew gum. If you somehow legally get your hands on special types of gum, like certain medicinal or dental gums from pharmacies, you can chew them quietly. You just cannot sell, import, or spit them anywhere. Spitting gum on the street can get you a serious fine. So, imagine landing in Singapore with a backpack full of gum to share with your friends. In most countries, it's just candy. In Singapore, it starts to look a lot like contraband. In this city, your chewing habit isn't just annoying. It's literally a legal issue. Now let's trade gum for glamour. You're in Athens, Greece. The sun is going down. The Acropolis is glowing. The Parthenon is sitting there like a postcard come to life. You put on your nicest outfit. You grab your highest heels for that perfect goddess of the ruins Instagram shot. Then a guard walks up to you and says, "Those shoes? Not allowed?" Yes, in Greece, high heels are banned at many ancient archaeological sites. It sounds insane, but the reason is actually pretty smart. These ruins are thousands of years old. The stone paths and marble floors are already worn down by time, weather, and millions of tourists. High heels focus all your body weight into a tiny little point. That sharp heel can chip, crack, and scratch the ancient surfaces. So the government stepped in and said, basically, "We love your style, but please don't stab our heritage with your shoes." If you show up at certain famous sites in heels, you can be stopped at the entrance and told to change footwear. In some cases, ignoring the rules can earn you a fine. Picture a line of tourists. Sneakers? Fine. Sandals? Fine. Comfortable walking shoes? Perfect. Stilettos? Sorry, those stay outside. You came for epic photos and ancient history, and you end up getting a lesson in archaeology and shoe physics. So if you ever visit Greece's most precious ruins, remember, it's not just a fashion choice. Your shoes are part of the conservation plan. All right, time to get a little more awkward. Let's talk about something almost everybody has done at least once: peeing in the ocean. You're in Spain, at a beautiful beach in the coastal city of Vigo. The water is blue, the sand is soft, you've been drinking all day, and the bathroom is way too far. Your brain whispers, just go in the water. No one will know. Well, in Vigo, that little secret is officially illegal. Local rules there make it a punishable offense to relieve yourself on the beach or in the sea. If you're caught, you can be fined hundreds of euros. They consider it an issue of hygiene and public health. Authorities don't want the beach, or the shallow water, turning into a giant outdoor toilet, especially when thousands of people swim there every summer. So imagine this hilarious but painful scene. You slowly walk out of the waves, thinking you got away with it. And an officer is standing there, staring at you, pointing at a sign you completely ignored. That's a very expensive bathroom break. And Vigo is not alone. Other coastal towns have similar bans. So the next time you're at a famous European beach and you think, it's fine, everyone does it, just remember, your everyone does it moment might literally be a crime on the local books. Hold it in. Your wallet will thank you. From the water, let's shift to the sand itself. You're on a stunning beach in Sardinia, Italy. The sand is insanely white and soft, like powdered sugar. The water is turquoise. The whole place looks like a screensaver. You think, I'll just take a small bottle of sand home, a tiny souvenir. Nobody will notice. Big mistake. Sardinia has a strict law. Taking sand, pebbles, or shells from many of its beaches is illegal. If you're caught, you can be fined anywhere from hundreds to thousands of euros. And yes, people actually do this all the time. Authorities have found tourists with bottles, jars, and even entire bags full of sand in their luggage. Some couples have tried to smuggle home 20, 30, even 40 kilograms of sand in their cars. Why does the law care so much about a little bit of sand? Because a little bit multiplied by millions of visitors is a disaster. That sand is part of a fragile ecosystem. Take enough of it away, and the beaches shrink. The shape of the coastline changes. Animals lose their habitat, and erosion speeds up. So in Sardinia, the shiny white sand is treated like a protected natural treasure. Airport security and local police literally check luggage and cars for stolen sand. What looks to you like a cute DIY souvenir looks to them like environmental theft. Next time you're tempted to scoop up a handful of paradise to put on a shelf at home, remember, in some places, just a little sand is a very big crime. Now let's walk from the sand into a city that floats. Venice, Italy. Close your eyes and imagine St. Mark's Square. Elegant buildings, grand basilica, tourists everywhere, and flocks of pigeons swirling around. For years, one of the must-do things in Venice was feeding the pigeons. Vendors sold little bags of grain. Tourists stood in the square, arms out, covered in birds, while cameras snapped away. But there was one not-so-magical problem: pigeon poop. A lot of it. It landed on statues, church walls, stone pavements, and priceless architecture. Over time, the droppings were eating away at the stone and costing a fortune to clean. So the city said, enough, this is out of control. Venice banned feeding pigeons in St. Mark's Square and in many other areas. Selling bird feed there was banned too. Now, if you toss food to the pigeons, you can get a fine instead of that perfect bird lover photo. Imagine showing up with a bag of seeds, ready to become the pigeon king or queen of Instagram. You hold out your hand, and instead of birds, you get a police officer walking your way with a ticket pad. The logic is simple. Beautiful old buildings plus acidic bird droppings equals destruction. The city chose to protect the buildings, not the tourist tradition. So if you go to Venice and a pigeon gives you sad eyes, begging for crumbs, remember, in this square, feeding the birds isn't cute. It's literally a crime. Now, we stay in Italy, but move to something a little more fashionable and noisy. Welcome to Capri. Capri is famous for luxury, designer boutiques, and dreamy sea views. It's also known for something very unexpected: a strong dislike of loud shoes. In certain parts of Capri, especially quiet residential or historic areas, wearing extremely noisy footwear, think heavy wooden clogs clacking on stone streets, can get you into trouble. Local regulations allow authorities to crack down on footwear that disturbs the peace. Why? because sound echoes like crazy in narrow stone alleys. When a bunch of tourists walk through with loud shoes, it can sound like a small army marching past people's bedrooms and hotel rooms all day and night. So Capri basically said, "We want peace and quiet, not a constant soundtrack of clack, clack, clack." Imagine arriving in Capri thinking, "I'm going to strut around like it's a runway." You step onto the cobblestone. Your shoes are so loud that people turn and stare. Shops side-eye you. On this island, silence is luxury. So your super fashionable but super noisy shoes might be considered more of a crime than a look. If you're planning a trip to Capri, you don't just pack style. You also pack soft soles. From slow, stylish walks, let's jump to insanely fast driving. We're going to Germany and its legendary Autobahn. You probably know the famous part. Some sections of the Autobahn have no official speed limit. If conditions are safe, you can drive incredibly fast and it's totally legal. But here's the twist that shocks a lot of people. It is illegal to run out of fuel on the Autobahn. German traffic law says you're not allowed to stop on the Autobahn without a genuine emergency. Running out of gas is considered your fault, not an emergency. If your car dies because you pushed it too far on an empty tank, you can be fined for stopping or even walking along the highway to get help. Why is the law so strict about this? Because cars are moving at very high speeds. A stopped vehicle on the shoulder, or worse, in a lane, is extremely dangerous. So the message is clear. If you're going to enjoy the freedom of high speeds, you also carry the responsibility of planning ahead. Picture this. You're flying down the Autobahn, music blasting, feeling like you're in a car commercial. The fuel light comes on. You think, "I'll be fine. I'll wait for the next station." Suddenly, the engine coughs, dies, and you roll to a stop. Now you're not just stuck. You've also broken the law. In Germany, forgetting to fill your tank on that road isn't just annoying. It's literally illegal. From high-speed highways, let's go to slow, painful ways to pay. We're heading to Canada. Imagine walking into a store with a giant bag full of coins. You dump them on the counter and say, "I'd like to pay my whole bill with this, please." You might think, money is money, they have to take it, right? Actually, not always. In Canada, there's a law that limits how many coins you can use in a single transaction. After a certain amount, coins are no longer considered legal tender for that specific purchase, and the store can legally refuse them. That means if you try to pay a big bill with buckets of pennies, nickels, or even $1 and $2 coins, the cashier can say, "No, that's not acceptable. You'll need to pay another way." The rule exists to stop people from abusing the system, like using thousands of tiny coins to intentionally annoy businesses, government offices, or anyone else they owe money to. So, if you've ever dreamed of walking into a car dealership with a truck full of coins and buying a car, that's a great movie scene. In real life, Canadian law has already thought of that and basically says, "Nice try." In Canada, cash is king. But if you bring too much of it in small, noisy pieces, even the king gets kicked out. Speaking of Canada, let's zoom in on a very specific law that targets something you might do when you're just tired and done with life: putting your feet on the seat. You're on a late-night train or bus in Calgary. You're exhausted. You look around. No one is sitting across from you. There's an empty seat, and your brain whispers, "Perfect footrest." You slide your shoes up onto the seat. Comfort level, amazing. Legal level, terrible. On Calgary's public transit, putting your feet on the seats is not just rude. It's actually against the rules and can get you fined. Transit officers can write you a ticket if they catch you turning a seat into your personal ottoman. Some riders have tried to fight those fines in court and lost. The logic is simple and, honestly, kind of fair. Seats are for people's clothes, not for dirty shoes. If everyone puts their feet up, the buses and trains become filthy. So Calgary decided to take what your parents used to yell at you for and turn it into an actual bylaw. Picture getting a ticket because you were too lazy to keep your feet on the floor. You were just trying to be comfortable. Now you're uncomfortably poorer. In this city, good manners aren't just polite, they're literally enforced. Now for our 10th stop, A law that attacks something millions of people love way too much: salt. Welcome to Montevideo, the capital of Uruguay. Here, the government looked at the health stats and got worried. Too many people were eating way too much salt. That meant more high blood pressure, more strokes, more heart problems. So the city decided to go after salt in a very direct way. Restaurants are not allowed to keep salt shakers or salty condiments, like ketchup and mayonnaise, sitting on the table by default. If you want salt, you have to ask for it. The default is no salt. Public health campaigns encouraged restaurants to reduce sodium in their recipes. Rules were created so that extra salt and certain condiments could only be given on request, not just thrown on every table. Imagine sitting down at a restaurant. Your meal arrives. You taste it and think, needs more salt. Your hand reaches for the salt shaker that is always there, and there is nothing. You look around, confused, like the universe took a wrong turn. Then you realize, this isn't a mistake, this is the law. Some restaurants even promote low-sodium options as the default. The whole idea is to make the healthy choice the easy choice. It may feel a little annoying when you're craving salty fries, but in the long run, this weird law might be saving a lot of lives. Out of all the laws on this list, this one might be the only one that literally protects you from yourself. We've just gone on a crazy legal world tour. We've seen a country that treats gum like a public enemy, a city that polices your bathroom habits at the beach, ancient ruins defended from killer high heels, and beaches protected from souvenir thieves, one grain of sand at a time. We've watched Venice declare war on pigeon food, Capri fight back against noisy shoes, Germany punish people for running out of gas, Canada set limits on how many coins you can throw on a counter, Calgary fine people for resting their feet, and Montevideo hide the salt to save hearts. What looks insane at first actually tells a story. Every weird law is a reaction to something real that happened. People did damage. People made places dirty. People made life harder for everyone else. So governments responded in the most specific ways possible. No gum. No high heels on our ruins. No peeing in the sea. No stealing sand. No feeding our pigeons. No waking us up with your shoes. No running out of fuel in the fast lane. No paying your debts in a mountain of coins. No feet on the seats. No mindless shaking of salt on everything. And that is what makes these laws so fascinating. They show us how humans behave and how far societies will go to control chaos, protect history, and keep things clean and safe. So the next time you travel, remember, always check the local rules. Because while you think, this is normal, I do this at home all the time, some country out there has written a law specifically telling you not to do it. If you enjoyed this crazy tour of real laws you won't believe actually exist, hit like, drop a comment with the weirdest rule you've ever heard of, and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss our next journey into the strange side of the world. Because the world is way weirder than you think. See you in the next hidden line.